Hello, fabulous friends, fans, superstars, and patrons. How are you guys? Can you guys hear me? I'm hoping that everything's coming through loud and clear. How is everybody today? Thank you so much for being here. I'm really, really excited. I am right now in Bali, and so sometimes the connection is not as good, and so I'm hoping that it's coming through okay. Uh, can you guys hear me? How's it going? Yeah, everyone's out there. So yay, Yavis can hear me. Wonderful. Katie can hear me too. Well, we really are here to celebrate Katie. Katie Weber is amazing, and I'm really, really so grateful for this moment. This really is the first ever Synchronicity University MasterClass. So this is the first time that I'm doing anything like this, where I get to sit down and talk to some of the most amazing minds, and we get to sit down and share and ask questions of some of the most amazing minds in astrology and New Age spirituality today. And Katie was definitely right at the top of my list. So Katie is one of the most world-renowned experts in Feng Shui alive today, really, and a lot of it is thanks to her Red Lotus letter, and you can learn more about that at redlotusletter.com. And she has one of the most widely read e-zines on Feng Shui on the planet today. Katie is an inspiration to me. She is so full of knowledge, and she truly lives her passion. She has aligned her spiritual truth and her spiritual calling with her prosperity, and she helps other people do the same. I'm one of the people that she absolutely has helped to do that as well. And so I'm really excited to celebrate her with you. She's going to talk today about prosperity and Feng Shui, and she's going to talk about her upcoming Master Consultant course that takes place in a different city every single year. And this year it's taking place in Austin, and it's always hugely successful and helps out so many people. So really excited to celebrate with you. I'm going to get her microphone on here. Really excited to celebrate with you, Katie Weber. So let's see here. We're starting the video for Katie, and we're unmuting her audio, and she will join us live in just a second. Hey, Katie.
Hey.
You look beautiful.
Oh, thank you. They were okay. I was like, where'd I go? The little screens are popping and doing things. Oh my gosh, good to see you.
Yay. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you for being part of the very first Synchronicity University Masterclass. And I know that there are other people here, and people are going to keep joining us as we get started, and we'll ask their questions in real time as well. But I'd love for you to get started. Like, tell me about, what is it about Feng Shui that you feel called you? What do you love about Feng Shui?
You know, I think the part that I love so much about it, but before I even get started, I want to dive right in. I just want to say, I'm your first guest. I'm like, I'm teary.
You're the first guest. As part of this new Synchronicity University Masterclass, you are the very first. And I haven't interviewed anybody in a while. And I was so nervous, like I was having butterflies and stuff. I was so excited. So you really are the perfect first guest to start with, because you know that you definitely helped me in my work. You helped me to align more with prosperity and spirituality and helping it to work together. And you've just been such an inspiration to me. So it really is such a privilege. And we met for the first time in Cancun, and we sat down and talked, and that was so much fun when we met a few weeks back.
Really lovely afternoon. You know, this is the beautiful part of being able to do work like what we do. You know, we get to, you know, you see us in this little box, or you see my e-zine, my newsletter come into your email inbox, and it just never seems really real sometimes. It's like, you know, is she really real, or is there bits and bytes? And it's like and I know that, but I know when I meet people who maybe have been subscribers of mine or come to my classes, they're like, oh my God, you're real, you know, because people feel like they know you for so long. But yeah, but for me, just having the chance to sit down with you was such an honor and such a pleasure. And what a lovely afternoon we spent.
Yes, we did. So yes, tell me about Feng Shui. I'm really excited to hear and really just talk to you about Feng Shui and what you love about it and how you got called to it. So
well,
please.
I love it because I'm going to put it in the simplest terms possible. You can achieve something without diet and exercise. You know, we turn ourselves into pretzels trying to do things. You know, we need to apply ourselves more. We need to work harder. We need to do this or that, change our thinking, our neuro-linguistic programming. I mean, and to me, sometimes, you know, maybe it's just the way your bedroom is arranged. And to me, this is the beautiful part about Feng Shui. It's that you can't achieve what you want to do. You can't be effective the way you want to be effective if you don't have support. And everything starts at our home. Everything starts there. You know, we wake up in our house in the morning, we have our breakfast, we do our ride on our exercise bike or whatever it is that you do in the morning. Or for me, I sit and read the paper. Yeah, I talk about a dinosaur, right? Anyway, but my home supports me. And it's like when we were talking about your home, you were like, I'm going to be doing this business out of it, and that I need a home that's going to support that. And so everything that we looked at with regard to your home was all about supporting you as a woman business owner, as an entrepreneur, to make sure that you were protected, to make sure that your environment was going to support your goals and your aims in life. That's what I love about Feng Shui. It's that I can look outside myself. It's not always us. Sometimes it's not who we are, it's where we are. And that's what I love about Feng Shui. It's about space and time.
I know that in like Jungian psychology, they talk about how, like in dream analysis, that your home, when you see a home in your dreams, it's you. It's representing you. It's representing your body and your psyche and what matters to you. And there's this like whole amazing sort of philosophy and theory behind it. But I remember years ago, I would dream of myself going into a basement. And I remember a dream analyst telling me that there's something in me that is going within, that is going deeper within, that is really seeking to get at the roots of things. And so when Feng Shui came into my life through you, it felt very much like a reminder of how symbolic our homes are.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And in fact, many times our homes absolutely reflect what's going on emotionally, financially, physically. I mean, you know, there are people with digestive complaints. I know we'll just go right on into the stuff. Anyway, people with digestive complaints, they got a problem at the back door. Most of the time, the back door is where? In the garage. You know, and so they got to step over the old paint cans and the lumber, and everything's all looky. You know, they got their recycling out there. It's a mess, that kind of thing. And it's like, is there any wonder why I have a problem with elimination and that system? Sometimes just clearing up that area around your back door. It could be your literal back door. It could be your garage door, whatever the back door is for you. But it's amazing to me how, like, for instance, I had a client I spoke with the other day, and she's a violinist, and she was talking about how she needs support in her life, and yet everything in her house was set up to not be supportive. She didn't even have a headboard on her bed. Now, this is a 60-some-odd-year-old woman that, you know, not a college student, 60-something. In fact, I have several clients. They complain about their finances and how they need to have this very secure life, but yet they have this home that's reflecting their need to hold on to that insecurity. Now, what the psychological reasons are for that, we'll let Jung figure that out, and the analyst couch do it. But so what we did talk about was, okay, well, if these are your goals, is to feel more supported as you're going into retirement and getting yourself more financial traction, then let's talk about how we can get your home to reflect support for you. And so that you're not pushing a giant rock up a hill. And it was just as easy as realigning her bedroom. And I'm hoping she got that headboard. We'll see. But yes, your home reflects so many things. It's problems in the wrist, ADHD, cancer, all kinds of things I've seen be reflected through a home.
So we'll get to some practical tips in just a moment, but I'd also really like to ask you, I know that you had a guest article on my website on Feng Shui's connection to astrology. So how do the two connect? I know that in that article you talked about how the home represents heaven, right?
It's both. It's actually both. And there is a connection, because actually Feng Shui began and this is what I see, we're so aligned, you and I mean, Nadiya, it's like, I actually had a conversation with an editor of a famous astrology magazine, and I was trying to explain how Feng Shui really has roots in astrology, because what had happened was the Chinese, thousands of years ago, started looking up at the sky and they saw the Big Dipper, and that's how they began telling time, was how the stars moved. No surprise to you, I know. But what they were finding was, as these certain patterns were happening, as above, so below, as these patterns were happening in the sky, down here with a home that faces this direction or that direction and so forth, that they could see the actual changes in someone's fortunes, for good or for ill. So astrology absolutely began as a study of star movements, and then correlating that to what's happening in somebody's life. And in fact, all the energies, we have 9 major energies, all the energies are all called stars. So, I mean, even the verbiage is the same. So there is a very strong correlation between the two in a very friendly way.
And I know that there's something called Kwa numbers, and am I saying that right? Kwa numbers, and they correlate to your birthday, like your birthday matters in terms of determining like the dominant energy type for you, right?
Absolutely, yes. So there's just like in astrology, there's different types of astrology. There's your birth chart. You can do astrocartography. You can do what is it like? I was just thinking of this morning when we were talking, or about our talking this afternoon. I was thinking, I wonder what my birthday is coming up next weekend. And I'm going to be in a completely other country. And I'm thinking, I wonder if that has an effect, and it's fascinating to me. But yeah, absolutely. There's so many correlations, absolutely.
So I'm going to open it up to questions pretty soon, because I'd love for you guys who are here to ask your questions. If you have anything specific that you want to know, please start asking. I'll be sure to get through them as we go forward in this time. But I would love to hear a little bit. Tell me, I know that you have upcoming your Master Consultant course. It's always a really big celebration, a really big deal. Tell us a little bit about that big event coming up.
Yeah, so it feels selfish to I feels like I'm throwing myself a big party. Anyway, it's a 3-day training course, and like you said, I usually do it in different cities. And last year was in Las Vegas, and year before was in Los Angeles. But this year, everybody kept asking me, "Oh, I want to go to Austin. I hear Austin's so cool. Let's do that." And so I said, "Okay, why not? We'll put our boots on and we'll come down here." But it's a 3-day training intensive to get people who want to either do Feng Shui as a consulting business, or maybe as an add-on. Maybe they're a realtor, or they're a stager, designer, an architect, whatever, and they want to pull that in, or just people who really feel like it resonates with them and they just want to improve their life. And so I have people that run the gamut, from folks who want to do it professionally all the way to, I just want to make my life better. And it's a great, we have the most fun. Last year I brought in the lion dancer troupe that goes to all